Hello everyone, welcome to the University of Lincoln and in particular to the Department of Marketing, Languages and Tourism. It's my absolute pleasure today to welcome you to the Open Day and I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. My name's Farhan Ahmed and I have the great pleasure of being the head of department for the Department of Marketing, Languages and Tourism. And for the next 10 to 15 minutes today, I have the pleasure of taking you through the portfolio of programs that we offer within our two distinctive subject groups of marketing and tourism. I have the pleasure of being joined by my two colleagues today, Tracy Millar from the marketing subject group and Leon Davis from the tourism, events and sports business subject group. And they will be joining me throughout the presentation to highlight key aspects of their respective programs. Before I begin with the formal content, it's always important for me to highlight that the University of Lincoln, and in particular, the Lincoln International Business School, is committed to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. You will notice that all 17 of these Sustainable Development Goals are incorporated within modules and programs throughout your 3 or 4 years of study. So you will notice each one of these elements incorporated at various points of your studies with us. We are very conscious that these are important, and as such, we will be making reference to them throughout your respective undergraduate studies with us. I always like to begin my presentation by highlighting our two distinctive subject groups. And I will begin today by starting with the tourism subject group. First of all, I would like to highlight the immense number of honours that we have. We are very, very pleased in our department to achieve high results in the majority of league tables that are published. Looking at the key indicators of success, and the most important ones being the ones that students themselves rate us on, we have an exceptional range of high-level results that I like to highlight. The first of these is the most recent one that was published, which is the Guardian League table, which saw tourism ranked second in the country. Slightly before that, the Complete University Guide saw tourism ranked sixth out of 54 institutions for tourism, events and sports business. And then finally, the last one that I like to highlight is the most important indicator, the NSS, which is an indicator that students fill out with regards to their satisfaction of their program. And for the last 8 years, we have been ranked consistently in the top 10. As you can see from these league tables, we are ranked as one of the highest achieving departments in the country. So if you choose to join us, which I hope you will be taught by the very best academic and industry practitioners that we have. In particular, the two league tables which are most recently published highlight how well we are doing, and these are just small indicators of our success so far this year. In particular, at this stage, I would like to bring in my colleague Leon Davies, who will essentially highlight the 3 programs that we offer within our tourism, events and sports business subject groups. Leon, could you please tell us about the differences between the 3 programs that we have?
Thanks, Farhan. Hi, everyone. My name's Leon Davis. As Farhan has articulated, I am the program lead for the BSc Events Management degree. I'm just going to go through the 3 degrees that we have within our subject group. So the BA Honours International Tourism Management degree investigates issues and techniques relevant to the planning and management of international tourism. So it really looks at you looking through tourism as it impacts people and businesses, and obviously how people move around the world and how this impacts on organising people, space, transport, human resources, protecting the environment and legal issues and legislation. You'll be able to take part in study visits too, and there is an opportunity to study abroad for a year with a partner university with this degree. And it also gives you the chance to study the likes of French, German, Spanish, Chinese, and some business English at no extra cost. So because we want you as graduates to be to have an advanced level of skills going into the global industry. In terms of the sports business management degree, so the BA Honours Sports Business Management degree really looks at the social and economic elements of sport as a business, and looks at really the sport sector in terms of sports spaces, sports management, sports products, and sports operations. You're able to look at sports club management, organisational behaviour in sport, and also focus on enterprise within sporting organisations. As similar to the international tourism management degree, on the sports business management degree, you can undertake a year-long work placement after your second year. The third and final degree is the BSc Honours Events Management degree. This is events is obviously massive industry, even during the recent issues, and there are still a wide range of events going on in a multi-billion-dollar industry. So on this degree, you'll be really focusing on looking at the concepts and practices of events management, and you'll actually deliver a live event, and you'll also look at looking at event legacy and brand loyalty, and looking at how events impact people in different areas, whether they are online or live at the event. Similar to the international tourism degree, you'll be able to undertake languages such as French, German, Spanish, Chinese, and you will also be able to undertake the study abroad option as well after the end of second year. Thanks.
Thank you, Leon. And just to highlight a couple of points that Leon has made there, we are very keen to ensure that when you study with us from our tourism, events and sports business portfolio, we are keen to make sure that you are exposed to industry and exposed to the outside environment as much as possible. So here are a few photos of what we've done in recent times. You can see Leon in a couple of these photos. We, for example, took our students to Dublin, as you can see on one of the photos. They're at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin again. But the key thing to remember is that we will try to and ensure that not only do you have the academic skills, but you are also given expert lectures and practitioner lectures out there in industry so that you are gaining the most up-to-date information. Here are a few of our students enjoying visits from our expert speakers. Leon, do you want to tell us about who the person in the photo on the left-hand side is? Because it's a major attraction for our students.
Yes, that is Dr. Erkat Sogan. So he is the agent for the Arsenal and Germany midfielder Mesut Ozil. On an annual basis, he comes to visit the students just to go through elements of the football industry and sports agency and sports law. So they have a real grasp of a real life agent, and actually someone obviously in the elite world of sport.
Fantastic. And I know how much the sports business students enjoy that particular lecture, because he can provide insights that we very rarely get from any of the speakers. Fantastic. The final photo I want to share, and this is one of my personal favorites, having been on one of these study visits to Sri Lanka, is our colleague in the center. You can just about see him, Martin Knight. For the past number of years now, we have ensured that our final year students in particular get to have a standout international study visit. And this is the one that we have done in recent years to Sri Lanka. And it's an opportunity for our students to go out there, experience a completely new culture and environment. And as you can clearly see from this photo, all of the students have a fantastic time. So it is an extracurricular activity that you can engage with when you study with us. So brilliant, and a fantastic place to be as well. So the last thing I just want to say before I move on in terms of the presentation is all three of my program leaders are very happy to answer any questions or queries that you may have. Please feel free to contact them on email or via telephone, and these details are provided for you on screen right now. And remember, there is no question out of bounds, so if you're thinking it, please do contact us and we will be more than happy to answer anything that you may have. Moving on to the second subject area within the department, that being the marketing subject group. I always like to start off by highlighting why you should study marketing with us, because personally, I think it's one of the most practical, dynamic, and exciting industries out there. And all of the students that study with us always talk very fondly about the skills and the knowledge that they acquire with us whilst they're studying for their undergraduate degree. Now, at this point, I do like to highlight that we do offer our students an opportunity to ensure that they are able to gain extra professional qualifications as well. And a prime example of that is that we provide our students access to the CIM Gateway. And this is a fantastic opportunity for our students, not only to obtain their academic qualification, but also start to gain access to professional accreditation as well. In terms of the programs, we have 3 distinctive programs that we offer. And at this point, I have great pleasure in bringing in my colleague, Tracy Millar, who will highlight the distinctiveness of the 3 programs that we offer.
So hello everyone, nice to see you virtually. Yes, as Farhan said, we offer 3 undergraduate marketing degrees, advertising and marketing, business and marketing management. Now to start with, I probably need to explain how they are the same. So they all include marketing as a key element of the degree, and they all have the CIM Gateway access for the Chartered Institute of Marketing. They also all offer a placement year or a study abroad year. So you have the option to go into industry and gain real knowledge, and we have an excellent employability team that will help and support you to find those placements. Or as with the tourism students, we do offer a study abroad extra year. Now, in terms of the distinctiveness, advertising and marketing, I'm slightly biased, it's my program, is the most creative of the 3 degrees. You have to take on the role of being in an advertising agency as well as being a client and briefing in advertising and creative work and marketing to be delivered. And you have distinctive modules in year 2 and year 3 throughout the entirety of the year, where you are looking specifically at advertising and application and delivery and creativity within advertising. Within business and marketing, you have specific optional modules that are not available to the other marketing students, where you can really focus on finance, project management, business development, so other areas of business, which are also vital to understand in relation to marketing and business working together. And then for marketing management, you also have more optional modules where you can look at the likes of project management, HR, other areas of managing your marketing as well as delivering the marketing functionality. Also, it's key to point out that these 3 degrees all offer the same first year modules. So you have the same business grounding. So it doesn't matter whether you come with a business studies A-level or BTEC or GCSE, or whether you've come from different subjects that don't relate to business, because the first year we will get you all on track and all get to the same level of understanding of all the key elements of business, the finance, the advertising and the marketing, organizational behavior, so HR related. And then at the end of that year, you'll then start to specialize in business and marketing, management and marketing, or advertising and marketing. Next slide. Another key area that was mentioned by Farhan at the beginning is that we have a really lovely mix of both academics who specialize in researching business and delivering that information to their students, and vocational marketing specialists. So I, for example, am fairly new to the University of Lincoln and spent over 20 years in business before that as a practitioner of marketing. So what you'll see throughout all of your marketing modules is that you will get both sides and both views, as well as bringing in, as Leon said, experts from their different fields. So you will get live briefs, you will get local businesses coming in, you will get experts coming in to talk to you. So for example, this next term, I have the Global Insights Director for Mars Incorporated. So looking at all the brands across the Mars portfolio, pet food, food, chocolates, etc., coming to talk to students about advertising and advertising research. So you'll get lots of that kind of information. Next slide.
Brilliant. And now what I would like to add on to that is, as Tracy has quite rightfully highlighted, we have this fantastic mix of academics who have been researching and become experts within their respective fields teaching you, but also a fantastic eclectic mix of practitioners who have got considerable years of experience, such as Tracy, in industry. And together, whichever marketing program you're looking for, you will have that specialist knowledge provided. As I mentioned earlier with the tourism group as well, here are my 3 program leaders. And again, the same principles apply. If you have any questions or queries, email them, call them. We're more than happy to help again. There's no question that we can't answer. So please do make contact with us. The final thing I just want to say, because one thing we always get asked about and a common occurring question is, how will I be assessed? Now, the one thing I like to say as head of department is we try to create a balanced assessment diet, meaning no student will be disadvantaged or advantaged by the makeup of their assessment briefs. So you will have traditional essays, presentations. You will also have group projects, as well as in-class tests, and dare I mention it, the dreaded terminal exams. But the key thing and reassurance that I like to provide all students is these are balanced. And throughout your 3 years of study with us, you will experience all modes of assessments, but we will endeavour to ensure that there is no bunching on one particular assessment mode. Again, if there's any particular questions you have about this, make contact with me or your respective program leader for the degree that you're applying, and we can talk you through the modules and the assessments that we have on your respective program. Now, here's the bit I enjoy the most, and I'm sure Tracy and Leon enjoy the most as well, because what is the objective of doing a degree? So that you can get out there in your respective industry and achieve great things. And here are a few examples of where our graduates have gone on to work. And this is the bit I enjoy the most, because I get to tell you about real students that have essentially graduated quite recently and moved into industry. And here are the companies they work for. Leon, is there any particular examples that you want to highlight at this point?
Yes, thanks, Farhan. Yeah, I'd like to highlight the Lincoln City Imp in the middle of the page. We have a graduate, Jake. He's one of our standout graduates from the Sports Business Management degree in years past, and he regularly visits the university and has an input into 2 of our modules. So he actually works as their marketing manager for Lincoln City Football Club. We're in League One in the English Football League. So that's a clear step where he's taken his knowledge and expertise and gone into the field within the local community.
Brilliant. I like to also highlight one of our graduates as well, Melissa, who did her undergraduate and went on to do a postgraduate with us, and she works for OSB Events, and she was one of our events management graduates. She is now working for St. Barnabas, the charity, and we're exceptionally proud of what she's achieved. So here's just 2 examples of where our graduates have gone on to work, but you can clearly see the spectrum and the diversity of organizations that our graduates go on to work for, and many of whom progress through those organizations at a considerable rate as well. From a marketing perspective, very similar situation, a myriad of logos, as you can clearly see here. Tracy, is there anything in particular you'd like to highlight at this point?
We have massive breadth of where our students go. So we do have students who work for charities such as Cancer Research and Kidney Research Foundation. We've had a student very recently start at Next, and another one of our recent graduates did a placement year at Enterprise and then went to work for them as a graduate. And the same story for another student who went to work at Danone, who you might recognize from all the yogurts that you'll see in store. A very big organization on waters and drinks, and they're working in the insights team. I'd also like to point out that we do get students moving into agencies, so Market In and another local agency called Distract, a digital marketing agency, were both set up by ex-students who then started their their companies and their careers within the university context at the enterprise building, so being supported by the university as well. And then we get lots of students moving into B2B roles, such as research roles with companies like Nielsen and Kantar, also at Rolls-Royce. So a real plethora of different organisations that they move to, all doing really well.
Brilliant. Thank you, Tracy. And I would just like to reiterate one thing at this time. We do provide students, should they wish to begin their own businesses, such as the example of Market In on this particular slide, where our graduates have gone on to start their own businesses, the necessary entrepreneurial and business development skills as well. So we can guide you from that perspective as well. So what is the aim? And this is where I begin to round off our open day presentation. Well, hopefully at the end of your 3 or 4 years with us, this is where we will be. And here is a beautiful Lincoln Cathedral. And if you've not been, please come on the social visit. But perhaps one of the most beautiful days of the academic year is when we get to graduate our students in this majestic cathedral. And this is where we hope to see you and your families in 3 or 4 years' time. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I would just like to say thank you so much for joining me and my colleagues Tracy and Leon in our presentation. The UniBuddy Q&A sessions will be online until 3 o'clock this afternoon, so please feel free to ask any questions or queries that you may have. And please join me at midday along with my colleagues and the head of the Lincoln International Business School for a live panel discussion. We look forward to seeing you at that point. On behalf of my colleagues, Tracy and Leon, and on behalf of the Department of Marketing, Languages and Tourism, thank you for joining us today, and I wish you the very best for the future.